All right, so guys, we got this tank here. This is a 1 year only 67 VW bus tank, if you're new to the channel. And it was kind of rusty when we started, so we actually, took took some water and some cleaner and did the outside with the Scotch-Brite. It kind of cleaned off all the surface rust. And what you're seeing right now is there's treatment on it. Let's take a look and show you what I put on there. So we treated the outside of it with this. This is rust converter. What it does is it turns that rust black, makes it dormant, and then we can sand it down from here and paint it, which we haven't done yet. It actually acts as a primer, but we're going to sand it down smoother. And all the rust now is treated and no longer active on the outside of the tank. But on the inside of the tank, it was actually, if you watch the second video on this build, we poured, I'd say about a gallon's worth of dirt out of it. So inside, so they have a kit. So Pour 15 has a whole kit you can buy. It's got this, and it has a cleaner and a degreaser, and the kit's kind of expensive, so it's like about, let's say, about 80 bucks for the kit. You can buy this quart of stuff on Amazon for 30 bucks, this whole quart, and this will do more, I guess, than actually that tank. But you really want to put a whole quart in it to really swirl it all around to make sure that all the places get done on the inside of the tank. And what this does is it's a fuel tank sealer, but it also, has a little bit of a rust inhibitor in it, and it has some of the chemical that's similar to this stuff inside of it. But what you need to do is you need to get it all clean inside first. So they have a kit that you can buy to do that. Like I said, that's the expensive route. I'm going to show you the cheaper route. You can use just a soap as a degreaser. So we actually just use this laundry detergent. You can use about anything you want as to degrease the inside of the tank, because you want to get everything out of there. So what we did is we put a chain inside the tank. So we took this large piece of chain. First we started with some nuts and bolts, put them inside the tank, shook them all around with the soap, with the laundry detergent in there, shook them around with the chain in it. This takes a bit of time to do. So we put it around with the chain inside of it, cleaned out that whole, cleaned out the tank as much as we could to degrease it first. Then after it was degreased, we had to stop, kill the rust and stop the rust from attacking the inside of the tank. And there's several ways to do that. So one of the ways is some guys use vinegar. So if you wanted to do something really non-toxic, you can put vinegar in the tank, fill it up with a lot of vinegar. So you can take a lot of vinegar to do it, and leave it overnight or something like that. But what we elected to do was muriatic acid, which is a faster process. So we use muriatic acid, put it inside the tank, and boy, you got to be careful with that. Read up on using muriatic acid. It will stain your concrete. It is faster, but it is definitely more hazardous. Make sure you wear gloves, make sure you read the label, make sure you look at a couple of videos on using muriatic acid to clean out your tank before you do it. Well, we cleaned it out with muriatic acid, and it cleaned the tank out super clean. I would say it's clean or cleaner than the kit stuff that you pay all the money for. And muriatic acid is super cheap. What is it, $3 or $5 or something like that for one of these? I don't know. We only put in about a quart. Shook it all, put it in there. First thing, when you first put it in, it just starts foaming up like crazy. So just we stepped away from it for a while, and then started turning it around a little bit and getting the whole tank coated with the acid, and then rinsed it out a few times. Okay. And then the next thing we did after that is we took we took ethanol alcohol to go ahead, basically denatured alcohol. And what we do is we take this alcohol, which you can buy this in gallons. They have it in gallons most states, not in California, but most states they do. And we just put quite a bit of alcohol in there. And after rinsing out with water, what the alcohol does is the alcohol is a bridge between water and oil. So alcohol will neutralize and help dissolve the water that's remaining in it. And also then it will also mix with oil too, to kind of help out, take out the final degreasing process of the rest of it. So we rinsed it a couple times with that, and that dries it out really good. So that dries the tank out. We've got it out in the sun for a while, and now the inside of the tank is clean and dry. I'm not going to be able to get a video of what's going on inside the tank. Just take my word for it. You used to be able to really feel scaling rust up here. Now it's like a little bit pitted, but you can feel it's really, really solidly down. So what we're going to do is mix up this quart of stuff. Then we're going to put it inside the tank and take it all directions to seal up the inside of the tank. And we did check it again to make sure the seams were not bad, but we don't have any leaks in it, so we're going to go ahead and use this tank again. Again, the biggest thing was the key is using that chain inside to move it all around while that stuff's in there. And just, you know, we didn't do it with the muriatic acid. The acid just did the process of coating the inside of it to neutralize the rust. And but the chain inside, we did it before and after with the chain. That actually just took the rest of it off and then let it so we could just rinse it all out. And so the inside of the tank is really, really clean now. So I opened this up. We just used a screwdriver to strain it, to check it, because if there's anything really stiff down at the bottom, we'll pick that up with that. This is what the stuff looks like. It's very thin. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how I do this. I use a screw or a nail or anything. I actually put little holes around where the lid seats. And what that does is make it so that when you put the lid back on, it pushes the fluid back into the quart. Because what we're going to do is we're going to pour in everything we can. So if you can see that around the edge, I've got inside the groove, I've got the holes. And then you're supposed to use a funnel to put it in the tank. Let's get you guys down here where you can see. How about that right there? So we're going to go ahead and pour this in. Pour the whole quart in. The reason we want to do that is we want to make sure we have enough fluid to move it all around inside the tank, and then we're going to just move it all around after it's in there. Going to actually put tape over that lid. So we're going to tape up the lid real quick. Make sure it's taped up really good. I think that'll be taped up good enough. I think it'll work. Let me put one more on. Make sure it's nice and sealed. The stuff's really thin, so you just move the tank all around. We're just going to move it all around. Go ahead and do that real quick. So tip at every angle for about, what, 10 or 15 minutes. Take it around. It's kind of, you know, when that chain's in there, that thing is heavy, man. It's really hard to do. So, you know, I only do this on tanks that are really bad. This one was pretty bad. So on it, if the tank's pretty good and clean inside, it's not clean, but it's like just got greasy stuff, I'll just rinse it out a couple times. And then the second tank of gas, usually you're good to go. First tank is going to be kind of old fuel. It'll pick up all the old stuff. I don't usually do all that on mine. Usually I'll just rinse them out once and throw them in. But, you know, again, that's up to you. If you want to throw a chain in there and rinse it out and put it in and not use this stuff, that's good too. But if you have one that you think is kind of thin, you know, like this one here is kind of thin, and it's a 1 year only tank, I figured, you know, let's just do the best we can. So it says a 96-hour drying time. You know, I think that's in the worst extreme conditions, so maybe it could be shortened a little bit if you needed to. But, you know, theoretically you're supposed to leave it for 96 hours. And the next thing we're going to do is actually, when he's all done, we'll set the tank up to where everything can drain back out of it. And then after that, you know, 96 hours or so, I would check it really good inside. We're going to go ahead and put some fuel in it, but it'll probably be next week before we'll do it anyway. So All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.